Hey, everybody, welcome to another Friday on the Local Marketing Institute Connect with our special guest, who, by the way, happens to know Raygun personally.
I
It's
don't know Ray Gun.
Darren.
It's my dream to meet Ray Gun one day.
It's Darren Breakdancing Shaw from White Spark is joining us today. What's up, all? Yeah, so anyway, thank you for joining us. It's another Good Friday. With us is Greg Gifford, of course, from the Surge Lab Digital, my co-host every other week. And you can reach him at Greg Gifford on Twitter, not X. Of course, Darren Shaw from White Spark. You can reach him at Darren Shaw. And myself, Ben Fisher from Steady Demand at The Social Dude. What's up, everybody? And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, the Local Marketing Institute Connect, where we have north of 2,505 members. As a matter of fact, I think we have at least 2,515 by this time.
Yeah.
Exactly. You gotta update that, Greg.
I'm just too lazy to update the slides every week. Come on.
I know. But really, really not. And if you want Greg and I in your ear every time that you're on the go.
Because who wouldn't?
Exactly.
Who wouldn't?
Right. Subscribe to us on Apple, Google, Spotify, iHeartRadio. All right. With that, we'll just start off by saying, hey, everybody, please submit your questions. And if you want to go ahead and get yourself ripped apart, audited, go ahead and drop your Google Business Profile into the Q&A as well. Or if you just have a problem, if you have a suspension or something like that, you need debugged, we'll be happy to help. Go ahead and throw that into the Q&A as well. Darren, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, thanks. Thanks for having me. It's always a pleasure to chat with you guys. Greg Gifford, I can't wait to hang with you in person in Brighton, in San Diego. Yeah.
I'm so pumped. It's been way too long, my friend.
We haven't seen each other in like 4 years, right? Pandemic.
It's been before COVID, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
in a minute.
Yeah, so that'll be nice. I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Excellent. For those who don't know you, because you're not anywhere actually out there, right? You're just getting started, aren't you? In this industry?
So I'm kind of unknown. I'm hoping that this will be the platform to launch me into the local search world. Yeah.
Oh man, go ahead. Tell us all about you, bro. How long you been doing this stuff? What you doing lately? What's going on?
Okay, yeah, sure. So I started White Spark in 2005 as a web development company in Edmonton. Started building websites in the late 90s for businesses. And so that sort of freelancey stuff turned into a dedicated web development agency in 2005. And then in 2008, a lot of my web clients were like, hey, we need to rank better in these local things. And because I was mostly working with small business clients. And so that's when I started getting really interested in local SEO, reading all the content from David Mim, Mike Blumenthal, Miriam Ellis. So many of the original gangsters of local SEO, and really got involved. And then in 2010, we built our first SaaS software, which was the Local Citation Finder. And then people started paying attention, be like, hey, what's this White Spark company? Look, they're making local SEO tools. It's great. So I kind of got involved in the community there. And then I hosted my first Local U in Edmonton. I just really got involved with the local search community and just loved everything about it. I stopped doing web development, focused completely on SEO. And then in 2017, David Mim said, I'm tired of doing this local search ranking factors thing. So does anyone else want to do it? And so I put up my hand immediately and had the opportunity to take over the local search ranking factors. And so, yeah, I speak at conferences. I write on our blog at whitespark.ca. We have software and services for help people with local SEO. I don't know. That's the gist.
Yeah, cool. Speaking of, the lovely Miriam has actually started writing for you now, right?
Yeah, so Miriam, no longer at Moz. And so now she's freelance writing, and she's going to be writing for a few different SaaS companies, writing local SEO content for them. And White Spark is one of those. So very fortunate to be able to have Miriam writing for the White Spark blog. She's just
super talented, really talented.
We just love Miriam. And so it's really nice to work with her too and sort of collaborate on these pieces that we'll be publishing. So yeah, we're going to be doing 3 pieces per month on a Whitespark blog.
That's awesome.
Very excited,
man. Fantastic. And speaking of, okay, I don't know if anybody's ever asked you this question before, Darren, but how did you come up with the name Whitespark?
Many people ask me that question. And so I will say, let's see. So I wanted to use the word spark because I was making this web development. It's like, we're going to spark your business. This is like the idea of my web development company, right? So the word spark was really important to me. And then it was all based on trying to find a domain name that would work with Spark. And so then I'm like, spark.ca, spark.com, obviously they were both taken in 2005. And so I just started playing around with the word Spark and I tried Blue Spark, but that was gone. And then Whitespark was available. And I'm like, there we go. We got our name. We are now Whitespark. So that's where the name came from.
Nice. Yeah. Well, cool.
So often though, people have pointed out the unfortunate combination. Because instead of it being White Spark, it could be White's Park, like a park.
I never even thought of that.
I know. So this has come up a couple times, and I'm like, oh, embarrassing. I never thought of that when I was registering this company, but unfortunately, here we are.
How long have we known each other, and how long have I used Whitespark, and it never even occurred to me that it could be White's Park?
I know. It's very unfortunate.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
And with that, I think it's time for the news, right?
Yeah, let's do it. Exactly, Nate. Yeah, you're not going to be able to unhear that. Everybody else, by the way, just so you know, before we get into the news really quickly, we want to say, do you want to have your GBP roasted? Throw it into the Q&A, please. We've got one question in the Q&A right now. We need about 7 more questions. So go ahead and throw in your GBP if you want to have Greg, I, and Darren roast your GBP.
I love to roast the GBPs.
Yes.
But we're going to need something because y'all have still kind of slacked on submitting stuff beforehand. So we only have a handful of questions today. So it's either going to be a short episode or we're going to randomly look at you and look you up on LinkedIn and go look at your business and roast you, whether you want to get roasted or not.
Oh, yeah. Wouldn't that be great? Just doing like a stealth roast? Just saying, just pick somebody generally. Okay, fine.
I mean, like Paul or Nate's probably going to be first.
So okay, great. Now we got 3. Excellent. Keep on coming, guys. All right. Our goal is to get 7 to 9. All right. With that, we've got a couple little things. Okay, Bonnie, thank you so much. But please put into the Q&A. Thank you so much. We love you. Okay, so the first piece of news is Darren Shaw has officially announced that he is starting his breakdancing career. So it's a fallback just in case local SEO dies. Okay.
Should we pull this up and do it on a screen share for everyone that is here with us today?
Yeah, just go ahead and do it.
I feel like that
just do it.
Let me get it pulled up here. Oh, crap. Facebook's being weird. Can we do it on yours? Because I just got back and Facebook's like, wait, you're in a different country.
All right, Darren, go ahead and show it.
Oh, me? Sure, I can do it. Do I have share controls? Yeah, all right.
Probably.
Okay. I'll go to LinkedIn. See how my comments are coming along. I gotta close all these messages. 1 second. Here it is. I'll maximize it. Okay, there we go. I gotta turn sound on. There we go. Sound is on.
And then you get to click on share.
Share with sound.
Yay! All right.
Where is... All right, I'll just share my whole screen. Okay, can you see it?
There we go, yeah.
They play a pose at the end?
The pose at the end is the best part of it.
I know.
Were you a breakdancer?
So I don't know if you guys know, but breakdancing is extremely hard.
Did you ever breakdance before this?
No, I was like, I watched some like YouTube tutorials and then I just pieced it together. Yeah. Yeah.
Right on. Yeah, exactly, James, right? Yeah, exactly. We're going to say, how Darren's next thing that he's going to have to do is he's going to have to go meet Raygun in person.
I did do the ray gun thing, but it didn't make the cut for the video where like, she's on the ground and she's like doing this thing and then she rolls over and does it the other way. I was doing that thing, but it didn't make the cut.
Didn't make the cut. Okay. All right. So, all right. Into other news. Basically, one of the things is I don't know if you all are noticing this or not, but we are noticing this on a now daily basis. And that is Google Business Profile appeals seem to be back on track. Don't know if any of you are experiencing it. Exactly, right?
Great job, Google.
I mean, it was only at like what? 6 to 8 weeks or something like that. And so now it's like I don't know. I mean, I'm having them come back within actually 24 hours now.
The ones we've done seem to be really quick.
Yeah,
that's good.
So I was getting a little bit fearful every time this happens because I mean we get in like an influx of anywhere like 10, 20 sometimes a day when it comes to suspensions. So when it gets backed up like this, it sucks. It sucks horribly. But yeah, are you experiencing the same thing? You are, Greg. What about you, Darren? Do you guys
we don't deal with suspensions. We just send them all to steady demand.
Oh, that's very true.
We're like, we don't want to handle that shit. Forget it. Like, send that to steady demand. That is a nightmare we are not interested in dealing with.
Yeah, you're right. You don't want to deal with that. So, but yeah. So anyway, so it looks like it's back on track. So yay, Google. Thank you so much. Next thing is we've actually talked about this on here many times. We've kind of known about it for about the past 2 years, but LSA and reviews more than likely are going to be dead as far as being a thing anymore. So in other words, the verified reviews are going to be going away and they're going to be just using the Google Business Profile reviews. This is currently something that's very active over in the EU, and we're starting to see it in our MCC dashboards. So I think it's a pretty exciting thing personally. I would rather everything be coming from GBP. The verified reviews were always kind of useless. And you couldn't even reply to them. So they were stupid easy to game as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, yeah, horribly easy. So I'm personally glad they're going to be going away. It's going to make things a lot easier, I think. What do you both think about that?
Oh, no, I mean, just makes it never really made sense in the first place to have the reviews there not match the reviews on the business profile.
Right.
It was like, why do you now have to worry about reviews in two different places? And I mean, like you said, it was just so darn easy to game those reviews. It made no sense. So, and
not to mention, I mean, it was actually okay to get a review on your GBP from the same person that leaves one in your verified review on LSA.
You'd have two from the same person. Yeah.
Stupid.
So,
did we just lose him?
I have no idea, but I really think we should caption that.
That's a really funny face to end up on. Let me screen capture.
I still see myself.
Oh, we totally missed it. All right, Darren, whatever you said for the last 30 seconds, we did not hear.
All right. I was going to ask, I have a question. So when Google gets rid of the LSA reviews, will they move over to the GBP profile or they just disappear forever?
You want to know what my gut says? Because I don't have an answer for this as far as like, I know this is going to happen.
Yeah, I do want to know what your gut says.
My gut says they're just going to disappear.
Yeah. Just going to disappear. They're not going to move them over. Because basically they're separate feature sets, right? Yeah,
and from a database perspective as well, you'll appreciate this because you're a programmer. Yeah. I mean, come on, the databases, you've got the GBP reviews, which are in Maps database, right? And then the LSA reviews, which are in the LSA database.
You are going to have a lot of really pissed off people when they're like, I had 28 awesome LSA reviews and now they're gone and screw you, Google. That's going to happen.
People are going to be stupid pissed.
Yeah. Yeah, especially the people that have crappy reviews on their business profile, but great reviews on LSAs.
Exactly.
Those people are not going to be happy.
Yeah,
That's why
exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised, like, if they just decided to do like a mass migration into the GBP reviews and then let you respond to them. Like, I don't know.
That would be nice, but then you couldn't get away from the whole duplicate issue.
Yeah, the duplicate issue would kill that.
Yeah, it's impossible, actually, because you would not, it just, like, how do you match them? Maybe by the user account. Actually, you could do it. You have to be logged in under a specific user account to leave an LSA review as well. So
yeah, but I think we kind of all know that Google engineers are not that smart.
And they're going to want to do the shortest path to the solution. They're not going to want to like go out of their way to help small businesses out.
It has to be. It has to be. And it also has to be a universal solution, something that with the least amount of friction for them. Really is what it comes down to. So I have a feeling they're just going to go away. So, all right. Yeah. I mean, I personally think that there's more to this Google business GBP LSA story. We can sign it. We've seen it again. We see hints of it in the EU, but I wouldn't be surprised before the end of the year that we find out that GBP is significantly important to LSA.
Isn't it already?
Kind of.
So you think that having a well-optimized GBP that ranks really well in the future will benefit your ability to rank well in LSAs? Is that the words you're trying to say?
Negative. Actually,
what are you trying to say?
Not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is if I have my crystal ball, right?
Okay.
Crystal ball. You see my crystal ball? It's right here. Right? You can see it. Okay. So my crystal ball tells me that if your GBP was to become, say, unverified or suspended.
Oh, that makes sense.
May that impact your LSA?
Oh, that would make a ton of sense.
As it should, really. If the business is suspended, then why can you still do that?
Exactly. Currently, you can.
Yeah, it's true.
But, again, unverified, maybe that turns your LSA off as well. Maybe if you move your address. Well, currently, actually, if you change your name or your address and you don't update your LSA, it automatically pauses it anyway. So, yeah, I just think it's going to get closer and closer and closer together to where GBP is indispensable when it comes to your LSA.
Makes sense. Yeah. Well, some makes you think like they regret that they didn't set it up that way in the first place, and now they're like, crap, we got to fix this, and this would make more sense because you have two different teams. You got the local GBP team and you got the ads team, and LSA was built by the ads team, which is why we have this problem.
Yeah. Well, and technically, I mean, I met the guy who made the LSA product actually about 2.5, 3 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And he basically said, he's like, actually, that was like the plan from the beginning. He's like, it just didn't happen. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm personally looking forward to that. Okay. Next piece of news is, oh my God, Google actually came out and said, Exif data doesn't it?
I love this news. This is the best
news. And do you know why they said it? Thanks to this guy right here. I know.
So did you ask the question or did you just share it?
No, so it was at SMX Advanced in Berlin this week, and one of the last talks of the conference on Wednesday was Martin Splitt from Google. And you know how it is, whenever Google speaks at a conference, it's not usually something that is incredibly insightful as to how Google works. But it was actually a really good talk, and it was the best talk about how images work that I've ever seen. He went through... He demonstrated different compression styles and how the algorithms work with compression. And basically the whole talk was around optimizing your images to upload them so that they're going to be faster, but not sacrificing image quality with speed, and how sometimes a WebP image is better than a JPEG or whatever the different types of images, and how there's tools that you can test to see what's going to give you the best compression instead of just assuming that a JPEG is the best. And even though JPEG is an older image format, sometimes it's still better than the newer formats, and this whole thing that he went through. Cool. And then he was showing actually the binary code of images and the Exif data, and that made me go, I wonder if I can get him to commit to this or not. And so literally my question was, for all of the SEO hustle bros out there that keep saying that Exif data in your images will help you rank better in search, Can you please just put it to bed? Because we all know that you guys don't use it. And he says, oh, yeah, it gets stripped out when it uploads anyway. And even if there was a way to get it in there, the algorithm doesn't look at it at all. So Exif data does nothing for ranking. So it is settled.
Oh, where's that clap track? Someone press the clap track.
I'll give you the big clap.
Yes. This is for you, Greg Gifford. That applause is for you.
This too.
Yeah. But you know what? Unfortunately, the asshats, okay, I mean, I'm just saying, the asshats on Facebook are already coming out of the woodwork and starting to go, well, we don't believe anything that Matt Coates or Google says. You know, I mean, obviously it still works. Yeah, don't threaten my revenue.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, hustle bros are gonna hustle, you know.
Well, I'll just send them the link, and then if they say anything else, I'll block them.
So, I mean, but weren't you going to integrate Exif data into your tools? I mean,
I definitely was never going to do that. No.
I got some email the other day from one of them. I don't even know which one it is, that they figured out a super secret hack on the software side so that they can use the API to upload your image to your GBP image library. And they figured out a way to upload it through the API so that the Exif data doesn't get stripped. And mysteriously, it's still there when you look in the image, and you can download it from your GBP image gallery and see that the Exif data is still there. And it is proven to be the magical silver bullet that overnight will get your GBP to rank #1.
Of course.
Proof. Wow. So they did prove it. They've proven Google wrong again.
So dumb. So dumb.
So,
oh my gosh.
Well, that is interesting. Though. Maybe it's an interesting tidbit. If you upload a photo through the NMX, Google strips the Exif data when you go to download. But if you upload it via API, it does not. But interesting.
No, it still does.
Don't upload via API right now.
It still does.
It still does.
Oh, it still does. Okay.
Yes.
No, that was the whole point of this dumb hustle email, was that they figured out some magic on their end so that when you send it through the API, the data doesn't get stripped, which makes zero sense if you understand how APIs work anyway. But
yeah, exactly. Right.
Like I said, hustle bros got to hustle. So
yep, exactly.
All right, so that would make it time for questions. We'll start with a question that will initially go to Ben, and this is from Lindy. Is Lindy here today? Let's see.
Hello.
Lindy is not here today. So hopefully, Lindy, when you're listening on the replay, Lindy's question is about a name change. And she says, when changing your business name, would you recommend changing it as the business owner through the GBP dashboard, or trying to push through the API? The name has already been changed on the website and other major citations.
Yes.
Yes. To what?
I mean, so the answer is yes. I mean, basically, would you recommend changing it as the business owner through the GBP dashboard? Number one, it doesn't really matter if it's the business owner or if it's the manager. It really doesn't matter if you're doing it, which one it is. Neither one has more power over the other. And as actually the way that Google sees it on their back end is that a user has made the change. They don't actually differentiate, and they don't say, well, Greg Gifford has made the change to his underwater basket weaving studio's business name. It's just a user. So it doesn't matter who it is. That's number one. If you do it through the GBP dashboard versus the API, also, that does not matter. It doesn't matter if it's in the dashboard, through basically direct edit search, NMX, whatever you want to call it, in Google search, or if it's done through the API. The changes are all the same as far as Google is concerned. They don't look at the methodology. Now, Darren, you use the API as well, just like we do. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think that what you're saying makes good sense. I think that, if I was Google and I was building a system, I would be like, well, a change has been made. We don't care if it was made through the NMX or through API. But I have heard anecdotally, if I didn't say that word right, but I've heard that people have said that you're less likely to encounter an unverification, a suspension, whatever, if you do it via API. I don't know if that's true. I've just heard people saying that. And you know how SEO is. Everyone's speculating about everything, right? And so what you're saying probably makes sense. I think it probably doesn't make much of a difference. People like to believe things because they think, oh, common sensely, or it's like the geotagging, like, oh, definitely Google uses that. And so
Yeah.
I think it's probably more like that. I would say that you might want to consider, if you are concerned about getting unverified or suspended, doing it through Google Maps Suggest and Edit, getting a number of people to do that. And that way you're 100% safe. Any general public should not get your profile suspended. And so
That's
you're more
actually not true.
I know it can happen, but I think you're a lot safer. Doesn't Google, so these edits are coming in through Suggest and Edit. Why would so if that's true, then could I not just get someone's profile suspended by having like a bunch of people in India?
Absolutely, you can
edits.
Absolutely, you can. So the trigger point, actually, believe it or not, is inside when you either allow the edit to occur.
Yeah.
In other words, you don't do anything, right? And then the name change just happens.
Yeah.
That's the trigger point right
so
there.
The name has changed, then it triggers a check the profile.
Yes, that's the integrity check right there.
Makes
so
sense.
It doesn't matter whether you have made the change and then you wait 10 minutes and then it's accepted, or if users have submitted it and you don't do anything and you allow it. So there's no differentiation between those 2 points, basically.
Interesting.
Yeah, we've also done a lot of testing between the API and also manual changes, and literally it's a 50-50 shot.
Sure.
It literally is. So that's the only reason why I can say those things.
So then what about the common suggestion that people make about moving the map pin? So if someone moves your map pin, then you go to move it back in the NMX, people are reporting that they get suspended. And so the common suggestion is instead of doing it in the NMX, do it through Suggest and Edit, move your pin back via Suggest and Edit, because you're less likely to get suspended. Are you saying that you think, well, it doesn't matter?
I already know it doesn't matter. So because we monitor for that, and we also revert that kind of change for our clients that are on our assurance package.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it through the API.
Okay.
Right. So basically, to backtrack, what you're talking about basically is when the first map pin attacks started happening is these were long pin moves. Okay. They were much more than a mile. They were sometimes cities or states away. Okay. This was causing, I think that might be what you're. Yeah. Anyway, but basically, when those were happening, those were triggering suspensions almost immediately, right? Because they were so far away.
Wait, you were just getting someone else's profile suspended by dragging their pin into the middle of the ocean?
Dragging pin to the middle of the ocean, which is automatic. It was automatically getting accepted.
That was a freaking public edit.
But
Suggest an edit.
But you move it back, and then as soon as you move it back, it's suspended.
Because it's so long.
Right.
Yeah, because you're moving it too far.
Now you're moving it back.
But that's why you do it through Suggest and Edit and not through NMX.
Nope. It doesn't matter. As soon as it gets accepted, it would cause a suspension. Now, but the difference is that 3 weeks later, Google fixed the issue to make it so you can't do a long pin move. So nobody could even suggest an edit on a long pin move, by the way. It doesn't work. It's not going to get accepted. Now the only attack vector that works is a short pin move, which is basically a couple blocks or maybe a city away. Still affects ranking. But still, because I'll tell you how we do it. Okay. We don't do the suggested edit route. What we do instead is you just go in your GBP manager, you go to location, you click on the adjust basically, and then you immediately just click adjust and then revert. You're not actually moving anything. You're just adjusting, which automatically is moving the pin right to where it should be. I'm sorry, away because of where it is, and then you revert and it automatically moves it back. You hit save.
Wow.
Yeah. And then you hit save and it shows you here's where the pin was, here's where the pin is pending. And then within 10 minutes it accepts it. We never get a suspension.
And not get suspended.
We never get a suspension.
So you don't actually drag it, you just press the adjust
and revert.
Okay. All right. There you go. Good tips, everybody.
Simplest way to do it.
Yeah. There we go.
So, So anyway, Good questions though, man. Definitely. But yeah, so anyway, and good on you, by the way, for changing it on your website and your major citations first.
Yep.
All right. Greg,
Yep.
this one's for you, buddy. Okay.
Also from someone who's not here. So, Brendan, when you're listening on the replay, make sure you show up to hear your answers live next time, buddy.
Yeah, man. Jeez. Oof. All right. So, how do you approach testing backlinks? Do you have any case studies you would recommend taking a look at that you found particularly valuable? Your own or others, by the way. I've done backlinks for a while now with success, but I feel like I've been trusting my gut and gambling a little bit too much last year or so as I've become increasingly busy. And most of the sources I come across when I try to get up to date a little faster are either not very helpful or just not very local oriented.
Yeah. So there's tons of stuff out there that shows that it still works. Joy at Sterling Skies has been spending the last year and a half doing a lot of testing.
Yeah.
Basically, all Joy does at Sterling Sky is run tests now. Not the whole company, but Joy's role is she does testing, and all that stuff that you see coming out from Sterling Sky is stuff that Joy is doing. And lately she's releasing all these really long, year-long studies they've been doing on how links work and what they do. And go check out Sterling Sky. They got videos, they got blogs, there's a bunch of stuff there that talks about it. We're about to be putting out our big research studies in 3 different verticals talking about the difference in ranking in the map pack between number 1, number 10, and number 20 in the local finder and the links that they have. And one thing that I disagree with Joy on is she says, don't really waste time doing link building if you only care about map pack rankings, because links really only affect organic. But links do affect map pack rankings, and our stuff shows it pretty clearly. So I don't know what you would want to do for testing on your own other than use a rank tracking software. I don't know. Do you guys have any ideas or recommendations of good rank tracking software you could use, Darren?
I got no
Nothing?
ideas.
No, yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. I know. What is it?
We have one. No, sorry.
Blue Spark? Was it Blue Spark that was? No, it was White's. It was White's Park that has a really
White's
good.
Park. Yes, White's Park
has a really nice local rank tracker.
No, but so Brendan, so what you would do? Use White Spark. That's what we use. It's awesome. But you could do it with White Spark. You could do it with Stat. You could do it. You could do it with SEMrush. There's, anything that does rank tracking. I would use one of the ones that is a little bit better for local rank tracking. Enter the keyword before you get the link so that you're tracking it and you can see where your average position is. Then get a link. See if one link is enough. A lot of times in local, one link's enough to move the needle. Test it and see. But also, Joy does some really cool stuff in the research that she's talking about with links that point out the fact that a lot of the link building services that you're getting links from sites that aren't even indexed by Google because they're just spam sites. And those links obviously aren't going to do anything for you. So make sure that you're getting a link from a reputable site, and an actual local site's the best thing you can do that with. And you'll see in the rank tracking software that you're using really quickly that it's going to make a difference.
I got something to add. So for the longest time, we've been using, these guest post link services where they would pitch a blog, like a mommy blog, and be like, hey, we noticed you got an article about blah, blah, blah. We'll give you $50 if you put a link to our client in it, right? So these types of links. And so did that for a long time. And the problem with those kinds of links, I think, is what Joy's getting at, is that those are pages from a 2014 blog post that are no longer indexed. So getting a link from something like that is pretty low value, or zero value, really. And so we're testing on a new service called WH Links, White Hat Links, WH Links. But their entire process is this. You give them the keywords, you give them the page that you want to do, and then they expand upon the keywords. So they do some keyword research and be like, okay, here's the 20 keywords that are related. And then they only go with pages in the top 100 of Google search results for that term.
Nice.
And so they're looking for pages that are already ranking for the term that you are targeting. And so then they go through things. And I had to be really clear with them. I was like, wait a minute. You don't do directory links. I know there's lots of easy links to get in the top 100. Sometimes it'd be a listing on, super pages or something like that. That might be in the top 100. So they have confirmed it's outreach only. So they find a page that is already ranking in the top 100 from one of your terms, and then they do outreach, and they do like 1,000 outreaches to try and get like 5 links. And so it sounds interesting. I cannot recommend them yet, but this is the approach that I think makes sense. And so if you can outsource that to a company like that, then that's nice. And so we're testing it out. We're seeing how it goes, and I will report back at some point on my socials.
Right on.
No, I will say this is like way back in the day, the history of steady demand. We had a lot of clients asking us to build links. So we did that. We tried that tactic. And holy crap, it was just so labor intensive to do something like that.
Yeah, it's the worst.
And then on top of it, you cannot prove the value, right? It's like you can't say, I made 1,000 outreaches and I'm guaranteeing you that we're going to get 100 links out of that.
No. Yeah.
You just can't do it. So we dropped the service. We stopped.
I wouldn't want to make that service, but WH Links did make it, so I'm going to try it.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I might actually try them myself. Thanks. Yeah. So WH Links, everybody.
Yeah. Just checking it out. We'll see.
All right. Next question comes from our buddy Mark Barris. I'm pretty sure Mark's here today, right?
Oh, yeah. Mark's already here.
Mark's always here. I shouldn't even have to look.
Hey, Mark.
Mark says, I know it's been asked before, but I'm curious about which of the Geogrid ranking tools get top billing at this point. I hear that Local Falcon offers a review analysis tool.
I got serious opinions on this.
I would love to hear your serious opinion.
Go for it. Do it.
Okay, well. First, I don't feel like I am in a qualified position to evaluate the different options for local grid ranking. I basically have only ever really used Local Falcon. I signed up for it in the early days. I continue to use it. I like it. It does the job. Local Falcon is my current tool. We are building our own at Whitespark, so it'll obviously be way better than anything you've ever seen before when we launch it. But right now, Local Falcon is the one that I use and I like. I'm curious to hear you guys' opinion. But I tried that review analysis tool. It's $49 to get this review analysis. And I could not believe what a pile of trash it was. I was like, I want a refund. This is such a useless report. I cannot even believe it.
What's it supposed to do?
Grid ranking. I'm going to give them props. I think they've done a good job to build a good
They have all sorts of AI things that they've tried to implement.
I hated that report. It was so bad. So anyways, that's my opinion. So what do you guys think? Have you found something that you use that you like more than Local Falcon? I'm curious.
Places Scout is dope.
Oh, that's what Joy's always tool.
Yeah, I will say this about Places Scout, okay? And maybe this is just because of the way we run our business. I love their map Geogrid tool, okay, report. But I've told them this, and they've said they're going to do it. They haven't integrated it in a way that you can throw it into the reporting, right? You can't even pull it through the API.
Oh.
You can't, and for a scalable business, I mean, this is important, right? It's not everybody, but if you're running a scalable business, you've got to be able to pull this shit through the API, right? Or you've got to, at the very minimum, because they do have a public link for their organic ranking, the very minimum, integrate all of your ranking into one report. And since they can't do that, we said, screw it, Local Falcon to this.
Does Local Falcon let you do the animated GIF thing with multiple grids?
Yeah,
they do, but it's buried in their interface. Like got to click 17.
I love that. Like that's one of the coolest things to look at is when you see over time that blossom of green come out. It's just
it's beautiful. It's great. It's beautiful. It really is. So So anyway, I mean, yes. I personally, I would go with Local Falcon. I mean, realistically, I mean, for me, it's all in that case. It's about it's the UI and how it looks.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love Places Scout. I love the data. I love how it works, but I mean, it's ugly. Oh.
That's our whole approach, Ben. Our goal we're way behind. Everyone else already has a freaking grid ranking tool except for Whitespark.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like, oh, well, why would I bother switching? And you're going to want to switch because it's freaking gorgeous. The reports that we're going to release, I've seen it, and that's our go-to-market strategy. Just make it look so much better that everyone, when they see it in social media, they're like, oh my God, what tool is that?
I mean, honestly, Your rank tracking solution's awesome. And like I said, we use it. We use it.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody it's awesome. And half of the reason, or really 75% of the reason, isn't because it's accurate. Because like everybody can do rank tracking, right?
Yeah.
Your rank tracking report is gorgeous.
It's easy to understand.
So good. And you can share it with people and they don't have to understand SEO to know what that means. And none of the other tools do that. So kudos to you for that.
Shout out to Nick Pierno, our awesome designer at Whitespark. Great UI designer. Yeah.
Nice. But I mean, let's take a quick break, right? And then we'll get to
good. I'll drink my
Q&A.
water.
What I mean by quick break is that let's talk about rank trackers real quick. Let's talk about the positives and the negatives to rank trackers. Because we all know rank tracking is just literally a moment in time. It's what it is, right?
Especially grid. Like you get one grid, it's like before and after. You're looking at two very distinct tiny points at that very specific second. Like it could change in the next second.
Exactly. Right. And of course, I mean, it depends on, where. Well, not necessarily where, right? Because are you using the Maps API when you pull your data?
Oh God, no.
Okay, I was going to say
because have the whole proxy network and scrape the results and set the IPs.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It's a thing. Yeah, it's a huge architectural thing on the back end of it. But yeah. The Maps API is garbage. Like,
I know
actually, I don't think we would use it because then it would also be ridiculously expensive because Google would charge you for it.
Yeah, it's expensive. It's also outdated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to scrape the results, and then you got to fight with Google CAPTCHAs and robot detection and all that stuff.
Right. But again, it's a moment in time, right?
Yes.
And that moment, that whatever you check right now could change within literally, like you said, a second.
Yep.
So it's good to use, and unfortunately, clients, I mean, they've been conditioned to use rank tracking reports as a measurement of success.
Yep.
Right.
That's what I hate the most about them.
Yeah, same here. I mean, it's like we have to use them because of that, and we're not going to change people's minds about this.
You can. We don't share ranking reports with clients at all.
Oh, really?
When they ask, we won't do it.
Okay, interesting.
We don't either. We only share them when we have wins to report. It's like, it's not part of your monthly report, but when, we've been working with you for 4 months, we always set up rank tracking internally for every client when we start the campaign. And then we have we have a quarterly checkpoint. And when we see like big wins, then we mention those.
Interesting.
If we see big drops, so far, we have not been mentioning those, but we do include rank tracking in our reports when we have a win to highlight. We were like, we optimized your service page. We've optimized your categories and your services on your Google Business Profile. Previously, you did not rank for Invisalign or whatever it is, right? But we set up tracking for you, and look at this. You are now actually, you were nowhere to be found. And so we'll just highlight the rank tracking for that specific keyword. And look, you're now ranking number 2 for Invisalign. And then the guy will reply and be like, yeah, it's amazing. We're getting so many leads for Invisalign now. We'll be like, yes, we did that.
Right on. I mean, we do. We have just a report. I mean, we pull the data from the GPP API and we pull local Falcon reports. We go, here you go, basically. Yeah. And we don't make a big deal out of it whatsoever. And
but
our
then
clients,
you get all the questions. Then they're oh, well, how come in this one single spot on the grid, I'm not ranking number 6? Like, because you get those annoying questions.
We don't, luckily. We don't. I mean, we've had thousands of these reports that we push out, on the first and second and the third, right? But we get maybe 1 or 2 people every other month that actually reply back and go, well, how come this is down to this month?
So that's 1 per month, 1 or 2 every other month.
You obviously don't work with any car dealers.
Yes, right, exactly.
All right. Well,
I think it's great either way, by the way. I really do. I think it's great that, the fact that you're not, and that you're highlighting wins, because that's great for your clients.
Yeah.
And, like on our side, it's like we provide the data, and it's like, if you want to see the data is there, and that's a bonus for you, right? You have something you can share with your boss.
Yeah.
Basically,
Another way that we use it, and this actually comes up somewhat regularly. We had a client who was, yeah, some clients are high maintenance, right? So we had a client who just had a lot of questions. So like, what have you done for me lately? What's going on? I'm not getting enough leads. And so like, a little pestery, right? But we showed them the before and after, and we used Local Falcon for this. It was like, you did not rank very well when you started with us. And now you basically are in the top 3 across the entire state.
Yeah.
Like we had such a massive impact on them. And so it's like, if you hired us for SEO, here's the evidence that we have absolutely killed it for you. Like I can't believe it. We are personally shocked at how well we did. And so it's like, you can stop complaining now and just let us do our job. And he's like, okay, yeah, thanks. Keep up the good work, guys.
Yeah. and we do the exact same thing. We do the exact, same thing. It's like whenever you get that, what have you done for me lately?
Yeah.
Which they occur for sure. All right, cool.
Well, with that, it's time to come on down for live questions. All right. Ben, it's your turn. So the first question comes from our dear friend and always here attendee, Anonymous.
Anonymous attendee.
Hey, Anonymous, it's you again. Nice to see you.
Yes, we're gotta get the t-shirt and the hat.
And we noticed for our commercial cleaning client, Google must have just removed commercial cleaning service as a category for GBP, which we find crazy. Can anyone confirm this, or is it a glitch? Thank you.
Plepper. Let's ask Plepper. Is that a category?
Well, actually, no. Let's just go to Google.
I guess, just go to your Google business profile and start typing.
I'm just going to do a search real quick. Okay, because that'll tell you everything you need to know. There you go. Okay. So what do we have? We've got 3 people. Okay. The first one has commercial cleaning service as a primary category.
There you go.
The second one has commercial cleaning service as a primary category.
Yeah.
Then house cleaning service, window cleaning service. It's still there.
So Anonymous, it was not removed. It was changed in your profile. So go get that fixed.
Yep. And by the way,
I don't see it.
We would find that crazy too.
I don't see it when I type. I'm typing commercial cleaning service in the GBP NMX. I'm trying to add a category. Really? Yeah, it's not showing up.
Interesting.
So what can happen is businesses that had it before are still showing in the search results, but it may commercial. I got commercial agent, printer, photographer, but as soon as I type in CLE, no, it's gone. There's no commercial cleaning as a category.
Interesting. Okay. Well, if the category is gone, it is gone. Then you just have to choose the next best thing.
It is. But then it does raise the question, and I got this one for you, Ben.
Sure.
How is it still showing in Google search results?
Well, that's kind of what is making me go, meh. And I've seen this before, by the way. So this is not something new, at least to me, where a category is disappeared yet here. Yeah. Right. My God would say that this is a bug.
What about I'm in Canada, so maybe if you guys go to the NMX, you'll see it. I'm curious about that because
very possible.
Someone just posted on the forum 2 days ago that they no longer have the commercial cleaning services category. And Colin from Colin from Sterling Sky answered it and said it may not be available in your area. It may not meet the business may not meet the criteria.
There's that area. So that's
eligible for a commercial cleaning services category. You must meet certain criteria, such as having a physical location and providing cleaning services to businesses. If you don't meet those criteria, you may not be able to select the category.
All right.
So maybe it's that.
And that's so true. It is so true. The whole thing about, does your business qualify for this or not?
Sure. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, the one that I was doing it in the NMX was absolutely not a cleaning service. So maybe that's why it wasn't coming up as an option.
Could be that. Yeah,
that's completely possible. Yeah, they've been trying to put restrictions like that on
that's interesting
business profiles for years. I've seen them do quite a few like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, let's give the next question to Darren.
All right. So. All right, Darren, this one is coming from Maria Moore. My question if you change SEO companies, do you lose all the progress you have made?
Oh God, no. So yeah, no, you don't. If the SEO company you're currently with is threatening that, then definitely fire them immediately because they are not an ethical company.
Right.
So what she just said in chat is she changed website people, I guess the person handling her website, after many years, and the new people are saying that she needs SEO on her site, but her old people are saying that if she changes that, she's going to lose everything that's been done for the last 9 years.
So if you completely rebuild your website and you delete all your content and you're starting from fresh and you have a whole new design and the URLs are all different, you can definitely lose SEO. But it's not because you've changed companies, it's because you've destroyed, you've wiped out all the work that was done. That's a different question. So, but if you have you're not making massive changes, you're just jumping to a new company and they're picking up where the other guy left off, then that is, you're not going to lose anything. They don't have any proprietary thing. Like what's on your website, what's on your Google business profile will stay the same unless they are deliberately sabotaging you by like wiping out your categories and messing up things after you leave.
Maria, could you answer real quick in the chat? When you're saying you're changing website people, that's the company that is hosting your website, correct? And if so, when you're changing to the new people, did you lose content or is everything copied over to the new people?
That's the question. Oh, they own the content.
It could be that. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, Jan in the...
Yeah, some people do that, of course.
Okay, but okay, Maria, same domain, but what changes on the website? Like, were you with a company that won't let you take your site with you, so you have to build an entirely new website from scratch? Or is it like a WordPress site and you're just paying someone to maintain the site?
The way I'm reading this, to be honest with you, is that it's no problem. The content and everything is going with her to this. She keeps it all, right? Yeah. However, this is a standard scam. I want to keep you as a client type of strategy.
Okay, yeah, for sure. She just said she's the owner and it's WordPress and she changed some pages. Yeah. Okay, changing pages could harm your optimization, but going from one person, okay, well, if it's a WordPress site, why do you have are you moving from one marketing agency to another? Because what was the person doing before if they weren't doing SEO for you, Maria? Just monthly maintenance?
I think she's saying, it was a marketing company, right?
Okay, so if you go from the moving marketing company that you were with to whoever you're with now, it's your site, you own the WordPress site. They didn't delete pages when you left them, right?
Yeah, I think you're going to keep everything. When you move, your website will stay the same. You're just basically deleting their access to your website, deleting their access to your Google business profile, giving it to a new company, and everything should stay the same.
Yeah, exactly. as long as you're not like losing access to stuff and that they don't let you take content, then they're completely lying to you that you're going to lose SEO.
Yeah, it's a fear tactic. That's all it is. It's just a fear tactic. They want to, at the end of the day, they want your business back.
And Nate's suggestion in the chat is really good. He's like, it's not just removing it from WordPress and Google business profile, Google Search Console, Google Analytics, remove them from everything.
Good call.
Those are some good points. Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and let's ask Darren this one. So Darren, this is also from an anonymous attendee.
Let's you know what? We only have 5 minutes. I don't feel like we should do any roasts in 5 minutes. So let's Anonymous and Bonnie, y'all need to show up in 2 weeks so that we can do the roasting and auditing then. Because we've only got 5 minutes left. We're going to try to bang through a couple more questions.
Okay, and we're going to be really quick with our answers.
Lightning round.
We are going to try. Okay, let's go. Fine. Let's see. Stephen Asman. Okay, and the question for you, Darren, is a GBP I manage has moved locations. Before trying to change the address and map info, I had a few people try to suggest an edit to the new location, but it didn't take. Was trying to use the hack to my benefit. So I updated the GBP address, did a video verification, and I'm now stuck in pending edits. Other than contacting support, do you have any suggestions?
That's actually a better question for you, Ben,
Sure.
and Greg. Any Google Business Profile project experts who are dealing with this crap all the time.
Yeah.
I do curious. I want to know the answer. What is your suggestion? You've been pending for 3 weeks. Do you delete your video and re-upload it? What do you do?
No, if
You
you're
do
pending,
this. Get to the chopper!
nope, not yet. No, actually, the rule is it has to be 4 weeks.
Yeah.
It has to be in excess of 30 days. If it's still pending, you have to wait.
And after that, then you.
Nope.
I'm trying to use the new sound effect, bro. We're trying to be quick. We got 2 minutes left. Let's go.
Then you go to search. Then you go to support. Once they fail, then you.
That's annoying. Google, get your shit together.
There you go. Excellent. All right.
And for those of you who are new or who are listening on the replay, that is our sound effect to let you know it is time to go to the GBP community forum and list your issue there and get help on the forum.
All right. Okay, next one comes from James Cant, and that is he has a link to something or other.
Another audit because he's giving us a link.
No. This is a question. So,
okay.
What I understand, if you're storefront listing, you would show your address, SAB, hide your address. If you're hybrid, you'd fill out your address and fill out your service area. The question is, what is the show business address to customers slider meant for?
The show business address to customers is if you are a storefront, you show your business address to customers.
It's intuitive.
Pretty straightforward. If you are a brick and mortar physical address that is displayed to people, or / you mentioned a hybrid where you're both, don't fill out the service area if you have your address displayed. It does absolutely nothing for you if your address is shown.
Show the little map, the little outline on the map. It'll tell you
It only shows you the outline if you don't have your address showing.
Exactly. Yeah. And the other thing,
otherwise you get the pin.
Yeah, if your address is showing you have the pin, it doesn't draw the outline, and that field's completely ignored for ranking purposes, so it does nothing for you.
I got a video coming out next week about service areas.
James, the answer to that is yes. It allows you to keep the address on file, but hide it. And what do you mean by it? But the only way I can explain how this works is that when you have the address set and then you undo the slider, it hides the address on the profile, but as far as Google's concerned on the database side, they still have it. Interesting little bit of trivia is that actually when you reach out to support on an SAB, they cannot see the full address. They can see the locality, meaning that they can see the city and the zip code, but they cannot actually see the address itself. Only the trust and safety team can actually see the physical address itself.
Yep.
Do we have time to debate something here?
We sure do.
Of course, always.
So here's what I have seen happen. If the statement you made, I'm challenging, which is if you have your address on your profile. So let's say I go in and I type in my address as 21 Jump Street. I click save. It's visible on the profile, right? But imagine this scenario. I used to live on 26 Smith Street. And that's where I originally verified my profile at, 26 Smith Street. But I just saved my address as 21 Jump Street, and I click save, and it's visible on my profile. As soon as I turn off my address, is the address on the profile 21 Jump Street, or is it 26 Smith Street?
It's usually going to be the original. Right?
Exactly. This is the whole thing. We see rankings shift. So if you're,
SABs are screwed.
If you've ever moved your business from the original verified address, then the address that gets on file is not what you just entered and hit saved. It's where you originally verified your profile.
Correct. Right. You actually
People don't know this. That's like a weird little nuance.
SABs are still screwed beyond belief. My friend is in charge of the SAB product, and we've had discussions about this many times. There is something coming from Google that will be a great workaround for this.
Sweet.
And so I think we can talk about that. Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't know if we're able to.
I watch your NDAs, man.
I don't know if we can talk about that. I can't
remember on this one whether it's
just don't.
Not.
Yeah. So anyway, but yes. So, but the guidance is currently is if you are trying to set your address to a new address with your SAB, you have to reach out to support. You have no choice.
Joy has a post on this, and what she suggests you do is you make a brand new listing, then you reach out to support and ask them to move the reviews over and mark the other one as closed.
That was the guidance actually that we were giving Greg.
Joyce posted it, then I guess we're allowed to talk about it.
I was going to say,
Joy did post that. Yeah,
if it's in the public knowledge, then yes, we can talk about it. Okay. So, but yes, that is the current guidance is to do it that way. I'm not sure though that if that was finalized. So
well, it's out there like a year ago. Joy published that post. I reference it all the time for that.
That shouldn't have been a year ago. But anyway, you can try.
Maybe Joy came up with a solution, told Google it, and then they're adopting it as the official solution.
I wish it worked that way. But I would say, you could try it either way. I mean, it's up to you. You could try creating a new one, and then you could try to get them to merge them, because that's actually the way to do it, would be merge. But again, you're still reaching out to support either way.
I actually think that is what Joy says. You get them to merge the profiles.
Yeah.
And they have copy the reviews over.
Yeah. And the reason I say, regardless, you're going to have to reach out to support, because Google really is not very good when you start talking to them about things that they're not supposed to do. Like, for instance, you're not supposed to merge a profile from one state to a whole nother state, or a city to a city. It's not supposed to work this way. Right. So that's why I say it's like they would probably screw that up more often than
And with that, we are unfortunately out of time for this week's episode.
Actually, you're going to have to just go ahead and fill up a minute here while
I'm going to do that. So I'm going to actually this time name all the people that we didn't get to who submitted questions. So that would be Anonymous. Oh, that was a joke. Bonnie Massey, you gave us a URL to roast. We'll get to that later next time. Nate, you had a question. Danielle, Kim, Steven, Emilio, Anonymous asked about images, whoever that was, and Rachel Bromberg. We will get to your questions next time in the pre-submitted questions in the first half of the episode 2 weeks from now. So make sure you join us live to hear your answers, or as always, you can join us on the replay at any point in time and hear the answers, even in the middle of the night. If you'd like to hear them at 3 a.m., just pop that podcast in and listen. That's right. I would like to thank Darren for being our guest. Once again, it was a blast having you here today.
Thank you for having me. It was very fun.
Excellent. And I'm all good to go. And Darren, is there anything that you would like to shamelessly self-promote?
Oh yeah, sure. I'll plug my GBP management software, our local platform. It's very useful for monitoring your Google business profile. Get an alert anytime something changes. Press a button and say, "Not today, Google. You're not messing with my categories. Somebody marked my business as permanently closed. It's open." So it really tells you what's happening with your profile. Will notify you if someone moves your map pin. So all these things, it's like an insurance policy, and it's $1. It's $1 per month. Allows you to sort of just really keep tabs on your profile and make sure no one's messing with it. Even if that person messing with it is another owner manager on the listing, we let you know. So it's really helpful to keep tabs on it. And that's great software. You can find it on weisberg.ca under the local platform under our software. That's my
excellent. All right. That is another episode on the books. So thanks again, Darren, for joining us. Greg, as usual, my friend. And then we will see you all in 2 weeks. Everybody make sure to get Q&A in while we are gone, and then we'll be happy to answer. So thanks, everybody.
Everybody.
Bye.